Meeting to order for Tuesday, September 1st, 2015 at 7 PM. It's the regular meeting. Unfortunately, we don't have enough people here for a quorum, so we will not be able to act officially on any items, but we can listen and take note on some items, if that's acceptable.
And that way, the members who are absent can look at the YouTube
Right,
and be prepared to vote
for the next meeting.
for the next meeting.
Right, and they can read the main minutes as well.
Yes.
So for roll call, I'll do roll call. Donna Corbin-Sminsky, chair, is here. Liz Davis, absent. Jane Smith, absent. Bob Shagnon is absent. Joe Albert is absent. John Hayes.
Present.
Joe Perella is absent. Kevin Zorda.
Present.
Thank you. Fire evacuation procedures. To my left, you go through the exit door, down the stairs, and out of the building, or you can use the exit door in the back of the building and go far away from the building. Okay. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We really can't act on anything, but I did want to welcome Ginny back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yes. I guess at the next meeting, we'll bring you back in under our section 12.1 of the regulations. We'll do that at the next meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, I wanted to move up an item on the agenda. Of course, we would need voting, which we can't do, but I think we could still move it up, if that's acceptable.
I think you can take it out of order and just
Listen.
listen, and we'll remind all the members that weren't here to be sure that they're up to voting
Correct.
before the next meeting,
Yes.
up to speed.
Yeah, so what I wanted to move up on the agenda was the old business, item XIW 15-08, Orlando Drive, culvert on Beaman's Brook, Town of Enfield, owner applicant. Is that okay with you guys?
Absolutely.
Thanks. Hi.
Hello, thank you. I'm John Cabibbo. We've been here before to discuss, we're here to talk about the Orlando Drive culvert. Originally, the original design that we talked to you about was a pipe to replace the pipe that is there. Then we were working with our consultant and in regards to permitting and also timing, because this is a project that we applied for funds from the state. So we had to see if we could change the design and the timeline and get approval from the state. We talked about that last meeting, and we did get an extension on time, but to change the design to the concrete arch, the cost was prohibitive for the town, even with the participation in the local bridge program. So we're back here to talk about the original design of a pipe. Basically, drainage-wise, it's the same. We're not we're not changing any of the flood plain, but we will need to go through Army Corps review before we can start this project. And so that was part of the extension request from the state, which they did grant. So this project, if it's approved, wouldn't be done at minimum till next summer, which it really makes sense because you don't want to do these projects unless it is the summer. You want to do them in low flow, so you have less likelihood of having a problem while you're out there with the pipe taken out. So I know you all got a set of plans. I don't know whether you have any questions. You're welcome to ask at this point in time.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions or comments? I think Kevin did.
The only question I have, and this is on, thank you.
The only question I have is on C102, page sheet 3. Just my only concern is that the outflow of the pipe appears to be above the grade. So we're
It is just a little bit, yeah. You notice, I think you're looking at the top of the page.
correct.
And it shows a natural bottom infill, which is typically something that they like to see in brooks.
Right.
Basically for, for wildlife or fish, whatever's going to be in there. But yeah, I think that just the way that is drawn, it would, it basically would follow the grade at that point. There is going to be some disturbed area outside of both ends of the pipe, with erosion protection and whatnot, as you see on the plan page. So I think that's more of a drafting thing than anything else.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, that was my only concern.
Okay.
That's the only question I have.
Yeah, I was set. I didn't have any questions. I was,
Okay. Well,
Is it appropriate to ask you said the cost was prohibitive to go with the concrete
arch.
arch,
Yes.
which really seemed like a better solution, but
Well, you want to ask how much the difference is? I don't know if that's appropriate.
yeah,
for you
I
to
mean,
ask. It's.
I know if it's not appropriate,
No,
but
it's. It's public information, but I don't know that
It's not a wetlands thing, but if you want to share it, how much the
Yeah,
town is
just
saving the taxpayers.
general informational question. I know it's kind of outside the purview of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And if not, he can just chat with you at another time.
Okay.
Yeah, just give John a buzz.
Okay.
But it's good to know that the town is looking at ways to do it correctly and still save money.
yes, I agree. Definitely. And we did have this presentation prior
Right.
on the original, so.
Right. And this is the first time actually that you've gotten the full-size plans, because first
Right.
time we came in, we had
They
the
were
half-size
smaller ones.
for the
Yeah.
pipe, and those are a little hard to see at that scale.
Right.
So we were at staff talking about whether, so this time was like, no, just let's give them the full size.
You can actually read it.
And as far as with the arch was concerned, it doesn't really look all that much different, but it is, obviously, like you said, having a whole bottom open like that is different. And again, the cost, where if, really the cost comes into it because we wouldn't be able to do the project at all, so it would be moot.
Yeah, and it needs to be done, so,
It does need to be done.
yeah. So I think we're good.
All right, well, I appreciate your
Thank you.
time. I really do. And if if you want me to come in again, I will definitely do that if you feel that's necessary. We see what the other commissioners say.
We're going to reach out to the absent ones and let them know that unless they have if they have specific questions, they should get them to us before the meeting.
Correct.
And that way,
We'll be prepared.
it can be decided if you need to come back or if you can just present them with a list.
All right, no problem. Again, I appreciate your time, and I'm sure I'll see you again on another project. And if you need me to come back for this one,
We'll let you
I
know.
surely will return.
Okay.
So, thanks again.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's good. So, this way. Excuse me. Next on our agenda then would be executive session, which we have none. Public hearings, we have none. Public participation, there isn't anybody. Correspondence, we could kind of review it. We will go over it again next meeting.
Everybody should save all their material in case you want to discuss it. There was a good article in the Habitat about approving or denying wetlands and the motions that go with it. So,
Yeah.
you might want to have some discussion.
Usually have good articles in here, in these habitats, yeah. So we'll review those for our next meeting. Commissioners' correspondence or site visits, if there's any. Anybody had any? I know Ginny had some follow-ups for us.
Yes, let me just grab my stuff here.
And I'll just talk with mine at the same time as we go through. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it started with the list of items that had been asked in my memo dated August 20th, follow-up and update. 146 South Road, Tarno's Nursery. Pardon me? I thought it was South Road, Tarno's Nursery.
Right.
Oh.
It's that map that we discussed earlier.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I didn't know, thanks, Barb. I didn't know if you wanted the actual original full-size plans for it. Just that, you know, these, there's two here, but we can make copies if you want them for the members. This is what was approved in 1988 when Tarno's first went in.
Right.
Thanks, Barb. And there's also a memo from Sean Rera to me about the Tarno's nursery visit that he had. So I don't know if you got a chance to read it.
Yeah, we did, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think it'd be helpful if you could have the plans for everybody.
Okay.
I have a copy from a while back, when
Okay,
you first
I
did
will-
the cease and desist.
For
but-
the next meeting, I will have a set for everybody.
Yeah, so everybody could kind of see it, and
Understand.
that'd be great, thank you.
Oh, thanks. And there was one, oh, would you also like the wetlands permit for, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, I
Yeah.
apologize. Crescent Lake.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this was in response to the landscape gentleman that had come in to visit you.
Yes, it was.
I have heard no more complaints, but I will try and reach out to the president of the association and see if there's any more concerns.
Good.
And I'll report back at the next meeting.
That'd be great.
Okay? Next item, miscellaneous items. Possible notification. Okay, you had said that you wanted to possibly update the application. So on a separate memo, I provided you with
This is a sheet, so
with
here's
the
the application.
actual.
It's on the sheet here. Yep, so inside of it, there's some,
It's in your packet.
it's in the packet there.
It's a memo saying
Yeah.
you asked for it. Here it is. And what I had suggested is that you keep that and look over it. And when you have the group together, you should decide: do you want to just add it as a line item for a couple meetings? Do you want to have a workshop on it? You know, however you want to approach it, you just need to give me a little guidance. And then in the memo, I also said that the fee schedule is set by the council.
Right.
And the last page is the state, and we can't change that at all. So the first 2 pages are what you can look at and update, or
Right.
however you, as a group, feel.
Yeah, I do believe we had talked earlier, we wanted to change the, that we get full-size plans.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a suggestion on that, a thought more than a suggestion. Those full-size plans are very good, but they're also very expensive.
Right.
So I was thinking if it were just a small job for residential property, we might be flexible
Right.
in making the decision when it comes in as to what's needed.
Right.
You know, it would still be to scale. It would still be like maybe an 11 by 17.
Yeah, something you could read.
But if it's like a big residential, then that's different.
Right.
But I can understand what you're saying about the commercial and the town. They're very hard to read if you don't have full size. And they're not to scale, so you can't scale them out.
So I don't know if we can come up with some kind of wording to say that,
Yeah. Well,
but something
you
to
should-
think about between the next
Yeah.
one.
Criteria based on size or
Or
something
something,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, size of job, yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, as you get thoughts, just jot them down and keep it with you and bring it to every meeting. And that way, you can raise your thoughts, you can discuss it, or you can hold it for the next meeting. But if you keep it with you, you'll always have it and
think
can
about
be ready to discuss it. The tree trimming,
Oh, yeah.
It took me a while, but I managed to get an answer for you. While the state is exempt, in the state statutes, they still visit every town once a year and meet with the tree warden. And they give them the projected, this is not storm damage, this is just the yearly trimming. And they give, I don't know whether it's a list or a PowerPoint. I couldn't get that. But if this is something that you would like for next year, because it's usually the end of the year in December when they meet with the towns, I can send a letter out on your behalf and say that we would like a listing for the next year's jobs. Okay? And let's see. Oh, Mayfield Complex. I'm giving you an update. I had brought copies of the wetlands permit. We'll make sure we get them to the next meeting. It just gives you what you approved. Most of you are new and weren't on for the Mayfield project. And most of the wetlands are in the walking path, and it was an agent approval. So I also have the mitigation. Let me just show you this mitigation plan that was given to the wetlands.
Right.
So we can get that for you at
that
the next meeting. And let's see. Oh, we have talked occasionally about assigning members to projects. And Barbara was very helpful in giving you all a list of all the projects. Yep. And what I would like to propose, and I'll do a memo for the next meeting if it's anything you want to pursue, I'd like to do a one sheet, with, okay, tonight, if we had something that you had decided to approve, the number would go in, the date that the meeting was held, the address, permit extension, what the activity is. They're going to build a deck, they're going to build a medical building, and who you assigned it to. And there could also be one more column for the comments that they give at the meeting. And then I don't think you really need it handed out every single month. I think that maybe we could try it for once a month,
Oh, yeah.
and then, just an update, a
Yeah.
typed, clean update. And, you keep it and write any comments you want.
Right.
And if that's too much, then we can do it like every other month or once a quarter. But I really think if you had something like this, you'd be able to spot on say, okay, tonight or next meeting when you approve that culvert, okay, 2 people we're going to assign to it.
Right.
And you just drive by and yep, it's there, and
It's going along, and everybody's
yeah,
happy. Or,
just a
"Oops,
thought.
doesn't look
But I
good."
think that would be an easy way to start.
No, I think that's a way to start,
And
definitely.
it evolves.
Yeah. Thank you for the list. Yeah.
Yeah,
huge.
and also one other thing that I had pulled, Barb's is much better list, but what I had pulled was the last year or two of approved wetlands applications. And I'll clean this up and just give it to you as a just an aside, but most of them are done. But there are a few that I think one was never followed up on. In other words, they got the approval and they never did it. And there's a couple that are still active.
Yeah.
So I
So that would be a
might
good list to have.
I might add that to your new list, just as
Yeah. That it's
you don't
still
have
open
to
and we still
assign
got to
somebody,
follow
but
it.
everybody can. Not everybody at once, because that would be a meeting. But everybody can just kind of look at one of them and say, "Oh, okay. I think I'll go look at that and see how it's coming."
Right.
Okay, and let's see. Oh, I'm glad that you're going to be looking at your bylaws, because I noticed that the bylaws are the same as when you had, at one time, inland wetlands and conservation were together. The first half was one part of the board, and the second half was the second part of the board. And that's why in your bylaws, it has it like twice. And I think it would be a nice idea to, let's see, where is it? It's page 4, Article 9, Order of Business. And, you know, like you don't have correspondence and bills anymore. I mean, you don't get into bills.
Right.
So
Yeah, we need
I
to
think
change
I
it
think
around.
this can be cleaned up, and you'll notice that there is no executive session on the regular meeting unless you're actually going to have one.
Right.
And then you need to let us know ahead of time so we can put it on the agenda for you.
Yeah.
Okay? Anybody have any questions? Any
So we can review
comments
the
or
bylaws
concerns?
and we'll think of changes. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you, Ginny. Some of the other ones that I'll mention them next time as well. Let's see, some you've already talked about. Oh, I did ask you about the old gas station on the corner of Hazard Ave and Broadbrook Road, but we said that is not wetlands and.
Well, it doesn't matter because nothing has happened. They did take the tanks out. I think that they came before you to take the tanks out because they were close to wetlands. And nothing has gone in. And, you know, we've gotten a few calls.
Because the pumps are still there. Now, this is
The
the one
tanks.
down, this is the one down further. On,
Not on
near
the corner of
Skidco
Middle.
Plaza, near Skidco Plaza, there's an old gas station, and it has tanks, it has all the gas tanks, and,
Are you talking about the tire place?
yeah, about there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
That we have no record of. It would be something that I apologize. I thought
No,
you were
that's
talking
fine.
about I thought you were talking about the one on Middle Road when
Yeah.
somebody said Hazard Avenue. That one,
Yeah, it's on the corner of Broadbrook, I think.
yeah, I'll have to check and see if it's wetlands.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
if
not
it
sure
is,
it's
but-
wetlands, but it will need to be looked at, if not by this board, by planning and zoning.
By somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
it's-
So
I know that you see the pumps are still there and everything's like,
yes.
they're old, yeah. So I'm wondering if the tanks are still on the ground. And,
Oh, I'm sure they are.
sure they are.
It's
yeah.
it's got a history, a long history.
Right.
And the other thing that somebody mentioned that I hadn't spoken about was the tree on, was it broadleaf? No, I think it was broadleaf. The tree. What the heck is it?
Oh, 61 Meadowlark?
That's it.
Yep.
That's the one that had been discussed a few months ago, where the lady was just going to trim the tree and she wanted to make sure it would be okay, and it was,
was falling down,
decided
right.
it was falling down into the brook. It would be a good thing to do, and
Before it fell.
I'm assuming she did it because we haven't had any complaints.
Right. Right.
Okay, so I'll take that
Okay.
one off my list.
Yeah. We had, oh, and I did have asked about the gas station, mobile gas station Hazard Ave, that one that you were saying. Yeah. So that one's still going.
The one on the corner of Middle
Yeah.
Road? They took the tanks out.
Yeah,
and
those
there's
are out.
nothing that I'm aware of. They would have to come before you, but as you all probably know, it's legal nonconforming.
Right.
And once the use goes away, they probably could make a case for another convenience store. But I don't know that they'd be able to make a case for a gas station. And even if that were the case, it would have to be a gas station, convenience store. That's it.
Right.
There was some talk about a Jiffy Lube, but they wanted to tear the building down. And once you tear the building down, you lose your legal nonconforming.
Right.
And they'd have to adhere to current regulations. But I will try to keep an eye on it
Yeah.
and let you know.
Okay. Oh, Scannick River. Did anybody go to that today? The Scannick River issue?
Oh, no. I will have an update for you at the next meeting.
Thank you.
I went to the town manager's office today, but they were a little short-staffed and in meetings, so
Okay.
I will.
Yeah, we did reach out to Barbara Kelly when she was here, and we have no jurisdiction over it.
No, you were
Because
just
it's a state.
curious.
Yeah, so we asked if we could
Yeah.
just keep an eye on it. Yeah. Okay, that's what I had. Oh, and I'll again say it at the next meeting. You did reach out to me over the month of August, and on 20 Howard Street, they were building a deck 16 by 16 off the kitchen. I went and visited it. We set it to be agent approval, and it was fine. There was really no issues there. 935 Enfield Street, they wanted to demolish a building across from High Street in the back. Yeah, that's going to fall down shortly, so.
And it has it has no utilities.
Yeah, it's gonna fall.
It's a good thing. And he is going to put
Yeah.
silt fence around it to make sure
To
that
make
no
sure.
dust or materials slide in down the bank.
So we also said, yes, go ahead. It needs to come down, under controlled demolition. I think that's pretty much the
And I
Mayfield
had
properties,
asked
that
the
was,
gentleman who's going to have it demolished if he would let me know the date so that I could come out and just kind of take a fast look at it and report back to you.
Right. The other piece I know Barbara mentioned earlier, we'll have to check into that, is that 300 Shaker Road. The final site plans had an error on them, so we wanted to make sure they get corrected. That's pretty much what I had.
Okay. And you also have the applications to be received.
All right.
No, you go ahead and do
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, I have one more thing.
Okay.
This was left on our desk.
Yes.
This is a letter dated August 31st about the CAC IWC meetings. They do have a yearly meeting it's in the letter. It is a good one. We went to it. I went to it last year. It's a great one. So if you can attend it, let them know. I guess let Ginny know that you'd like to go.
Yep.
It's Saturday, November 14th at Villa Capri Banquet Facility in Wallingford. So you can think about it, and it was pretty good last year. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. All right, we've had this ongoing thing about 73 Post Road. They're proposing to put an in-ground pool in. Barbara Kelly started to look at it, but unfortunately, we didn't get the information while she was here, and then, summer came and summer went. So the gentleman from the pool company actually gave me a soils report, but I think we need to have them come in for a full site plan application. Full site, inland wetlands application. Sorry, I'm on the P&Z thing. So I'm going to reach out to them and see if they could come in and submit something. If we could put them on the agenda for the next meeting, because their building permit is over their 30 days. So we kind of want to see if we can move them along. That just the soils report alone is not going to help make an executive decision tonight, saying that you want an admin approval, or if you guys want to see it.
Yeah.
I think he's got wetlands on both sides. I would say
Yeah.
full application.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call them tomorrow.
I would suggest that you say that you're accepting it as an application so that you can act on it at the next meeting. Even though we don't have a majority, I think everybody can
Right.
accept
They automatically become
Yes.
accepted.
Right.
There's nothing
It'll be a
we-
full application.
I'm going to call him. The next thing that Ginny spoke about is Martin Brower over at 191 Moody Road. They're looking to put a generator in. Okay, I got a full application today. The generator pad is the generator is going to actually sit in one of their parking spots. So I have the application and everything. They are close to the wetlands. They're within the 100 feet of wetlands, so we would like to know if you guys could accept this to be on the agenda for next meeting.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Okay.
They're automatically accepted.
The last one that I have, an elderly gentleman came in to me last week, and his wife is handicapped, so he's having difficulties, getting her in and out of the car. If you drive by the house, he's at 22 Gary Drive. He already does have an handicap ramp. He would like to build a garage attached to the house. He's looking to do a 31 by 24. And the problem is he has a brook behind him. And it's a very small lot. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to look at this and grant Ginny agent approval, or if you wanted him to come in with a full application. It is a small lot. I do have pictures of it, so if you guys want to look at it, or do you want to just have him come in as an application?
You might want to show the chair the picture that the area is already disturbed. Part of it is concrete and part of it is just flat dirt. So it's already disturbed. And it's wouldn't be a foundation
Your mic's on?
Yeah.
Okay, this is 22 Gary. This is where he's proposing to put it, okay? So what I want to show you is there's no pool there anymore. There is a shed, okay? He did give us pictures, okay? So let me show you with the first picture that I showed Jenny earlier today. See where the steps come down?
Yeah.
Right here, this is where he wants to put the garage from here over.
Oh, there's already,
There's
an area here.
already an area, he wants to go up to the pavement. The issue that he's having, see, this is a side view, this is the front, there's the handicap ramp. All right, this is the back of the house, so you can see where it slopes, okay? And then this shows you a little bit more in depth from here. The brook is back in here. All right, and I also, the elevations, you have a copy of the elevations. This is the floodplain. The elevations, where the pool used to be, it's at 130. And as you go down, it goes down to 140. So it's in
Goes up.
2 foot.
Goes
yeah,
up.
Goes up. It goes in 2 foot increments.
Yeah.
So you can see how far, but like I said, the pool is gone.
Yeah.
He's got the handicap ramp already here. He just wants to attach this
Yeah.
31 by 24 right in this area right here.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to discuss it?
Yeah.
You want him
Yeah.
to come in? What do you want him to do?
I would think an agent approval is fine. Administrative.
Well, we'll have to get everybody to vote on it next.
No, I could
Or
do it
can
as
you
a
just
chair.
do it?
I could
Oh,
do it
okay,
as a
cool.
chair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you,
all we
yes.
have.
Okay, so that's agent approval.
Does anybody have anything that they want for the next meeting or have any questions? Because
Guess not. Okay, thank you. Do you have a motion? Well, yeah, I guess motion to adjourn, even though we don't have.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Look at that. Okay, we're good. We're done. Thank you. Even though it wasn't a real meeting. Thank you. Yes, we did. Thank you, ladies.
And in short order.